I am Lori Pindar, and I serve as Director of Undergraduate Studies for the Department of Communication. I am creating class playlists, so for attendance and just checking who's in the room and what they're about, I like asking every once in a while, like, hey, can you contribute to the class playlist? What's your song that you're listening to or song of the day? And so they'll put that in the Zoom chat. That's turned out to be really fun. And I've gotten some new music opportunities to explore, so that's great. I also love using Google Slides and giving everyone in the class their own slide to decorate, if you will, but share things about themselves, because icebreakers virtually, when you have a class of 21 or more people, it's not going to pan out very well. It gets awkward. The silences, people tune out, and that's the worst thing. Zoom fatigue and people just being online and virtual all day long. So I like to have the creative space where they can tune out a little bit, create something, but it's done in an environment that is real time, so people can see and engage with it. So using technological tools like that, or even the simple just, hey, tell me about yourself, in a way that doesn't mean that you answer a question that I ask, but it's the song that you're listening to, or it's a thought that you're thinking right now, but it's not putting you on the spot to perform. It's just you being honest and authentic. So I like using and engaging with students in ways that permit them to be their most authentic selves in that moment. And they could be having a super jazzy day and they're great and full of light, or things might be a little bit more tough. Either way, each experience is valued in that moment. My teaching philosophy is one that I try to bring the practical into the classroom. So for me, it is hugely important that students don't just have knowledge that sits there, but they learn how to use it. They learn about themselves, they learn about others, and they also learn how to navigate successfully the life at Clemson and beyond Clemson that they want to lead. So a bulk of my work is in professional development. So I work with students to help them understand what they bring to the table and how they can make that matter through their academic career as an advisor, but in the classroom, having those practical experiences. I would love for them to have a sense of self and not necessarily doubt what they're able to do, but always see the opportunity in what is available to them. They may not know everything, and you're not supposed to know everything and be perfect at executing everything on the first try, but I want them to know that they have the ability to succeed, even if it requires modifying, adjusting, changing mid-path. Students can succeed in my class by staying on top of the material. So make sure that if you're not a planner naturally, have a calendar, have a notebook page, have something that is going to help you organize your life. Because again, I teach in that professional development realm. I help introduce you to what the Department of Communication is all about, what we offer, and opportunities to explore. And there are a lot of things that will be presented, but if you aren't organized, then you're going to feel overwhelmed. There's no need to be overwhelmed. It's always good to follow up, and authenticity, again, is key here. I am quick to send an email. I love just sending random emails to students that cross my mind, and if I have them in class, I usually give it a little bit, and then I follow up and say, hey, just want to touch base with you, and insert whatever might be the moment or thing that we need to follow up on. I invite conversation, so it's not you need to talk to me, but I like to invite conversation before I become too intrusive, because I do have a philosophy of intrusive advising. Like, I need to know about your life. It's not just the assignment, but what is really going on, so I can best be able to engage with you in a way that you're going to feel like I'm not trying to pressure you or trying to force anything that's not there, but you need to know that I'm here for you. So help me help you in that sense. But even if I see you out and about, because I do go out and about, I need to get groceries every once in a while, I'm not afraid to say, hey, missed you in class the other day. How are things going? Because it's my duty as your instructor to build that relationship and support you and help you make better better decisions if things might not be going well, or point you to the right resources that you'll need. Online classes have provided opportunities to explore different ways to engage with students, and I do enjoy I actually enjoy how people wave and are way more polite. They say thank you after class, and that's just something that I think is absolutely precious. I've been able to schedule more things, and I had to stop that, but I was able to schedule myself in a way that I could actually sit and start, teach, and conclude a class and actually be in it instead of rushing to the next thing, because I'm just literally here at my desk in my home. And that's given me more time to think critically about the content that I'm offering. I think that I thrive in a classroom setting where I can see people as they enter, have those conversations, and not be interrupted by dings and sounds and other competing interests that are literally right in my line of sight, in my students' line of sight. So I miss the rapport building and the ease that it took, or the ease that I had in the classroom. I do think that the classroom, being face-to-face with students and building a sense of community and making that our home for that moment in time, that's more difficult in an online environment. I got a little happy with the IKEA website, so I converted my bedroom that was a closet into an office and built furniture. I also started a business where I've always been interested in hand lettering. However, I signed up for a formal class and said, let me learn pointed pen calligraphy. I want to know the mechanics behind it. And so I spent 8 weeks in a short course on calligraphy, and now I do hand lettering and have sold 2 projects thus far. What I'm looking forward to most about campus opening up is the buzz of seeing people. There are going to be moments where I'm going to get really excited because there is a renewed energy, and I think every university community needs that energy. I also think it means this is how we move forward. This is how we're going to get through this together, and that is a benchmark for me. To be in a classroom that's not necessarily a classroom. I teach in a gym. That's one of my class locations. And to see, like, how does this work? What does this look like? I'm excited to see that because I think it means we'll have more data and more input so that we can make better decisions moving forward in whatever environment we need to move forward in. With my faculty and residence role, I've actually been leading a creative inquiry that studies the 50 years of Greek life here at Clemson University. So we have been digging through the archives and trying to tell the story of the fraternity and sorority community and its impact on our campus community. That has been quite interesting because not only are we documenting the stories and the narratives from our entire Greek community, but we're learning a lot about the mechanics and the things that go on behind the scenes that make a university a university. Seeing how those conversations unfold with people who were members in the 1970s versus the 1990s versus today, we're finding similarities, and we're finding a lot of the heartwarming stories that bring people together and keep them aligned, and their blood runs orange for many reasons, but that community is a part of it. And I also do work in branding and higher education, which is a part of my class that I teach through the Irwin Center for Brand Communications. My colleagues and the students that I get to engage with, I love the work that I do, and I work in a department that allows me to be creative and explore the various things that I think are going to support students in meaningful ways. I also just love how everyone really buys into the idea that they can be someone and make a name for themselves, and they'll carve out opportunities. I actually completed my undergraduate degree at the university way back in the day, and now not only am I working at Clemson, but I'm faculty in residence for the fraternity and sorority community. So I am now, I guess, a tried and true community member and local in a way. So my favorite parts about this community are how tight-knit and close it is. So there are pockets of different families and people and places and things that I can mix and mingle with. And like, I have a fitness community here that I hold near and dear, and I even teach at a studio that I started working out in a few years ago, and that community has really supported me. My friends are here, and they even have access to some of the most beautiful parks and hiking trails, and the lake being so close and accessible. I think that's what makes Clemson so great. It's so beautiful, no matter what time of year it is, but the people here also are wonderful. It's really tough to answer that because there are so many moments. But I'll have to say, in recent history, one of my favorite Clemson memories is having that ability to just walk along the lake and talk about work and life and share with each other the things that made us laugh, made us cry that week, all the things that were important. And Clemson came up, and Clemson brought us together, but it wasn't necessarily the university that we were talking about, but the fact that I've built such great friendships and relationships with people who are doing amazing things. I am always impressed by my colleagues and how strong and wonderful they are. And I will say, it was a group of women walking, and I think in all of my experience and all of the positions that I've had, the women that I have formed relationships with that also are my colleagues at this institution are some of the most phenomenal people that I've ever engaged with. So that is something that I am thrilled for Clemson to have brought me. I have zero traditions. I kind of just show up on game days of any kind. So I'll start with football. I live on campus. I literally can walk outside, walk my dog, and see the stadium, and it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of this imposing structure, and here I am just at the foot of it. I invite people over, or used to invite people over. I tend to wear only orange or white or purple, but never all together for a game day. I also love going to rowing events. It just blows my mind how fast people move on water. So I'll be looking, and if I blink, those people are gone. Like, they're just zooming through the water. So I'm always just impressed with it. Volleyball is one of my favorite experiences because it's more intimate, it's more closed in a space, and I think the fans are just phenomenal because you have people who really, really come in. Same for soccer as well. People drive in and they want to, with that being, just, oh, those are my students that I'm also seeing playing, so I want to support, let me learn this chant. My advice for calm students is to simply take some time. You're talented, you're great, you're wonderful. Take a step back though. They typically are a student profile that is high achieving and good at a lot of things, but it's time to see what makes you happy so you can be great at a few more things. And I also would encourage you to understand that you have to carve out a space for yourself. You have to make your mark, and it's not going to be done for you. You're the only person who can get in front of that conversation and make it happen. So when you seek out mentoring, when you seek out advice from your advisor, when you have a faculty member that you really resonate with, talk to them. Make sure you're engaging with them. And I can say don't be shy all day. You can be shy. It's fine. Just endeavor and push yourself to send that email or ask the questions, stay after class, because those are the students that are easiest to help. So when it comes time to walk across that stage and receive that degree, you will feel like you have done something. Instead of rushing through it all and it's all now done, you don't know what to do, we want to make sure that as your faculty, you are supported in that way. So I would say pay attention, slow it down, ask the questions, you're going to be all right.